Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Conversations. I'm your host, Ryan.
And this is Song.
And guys, we actually have a very special episode today. Special guest, but a special announcement. Recently we had a guest on, Alize, Jessica, and we just vibed really well. And we've been looking for a female voice on this podcast for a while. So we asked her, and she said yes. So, guys, I want to introduce the third host and probably the most sane voice on this podcast.
Yes.
Jessica Alize Stafford.
Welcome, Jess. Hell
Thank
yeah.
you for having me.
Oh, man.
This is going to be exciting, man.
Thank you for,
Yes.
And everybody in the last episode knows who you are. So, you definitely bring a lot of value to this podcast.
A lot of
because
flavor.
we're a lot of dudes. We got the demographics is a lot of guys, and we have a few female listeners, maybe a couple hundred or thousand, I'm not sure, but we need a female voice because they don't want to hear about us.
Of course, and you know what? That female voice, they could empathize with them as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Good word. Good word.
the word of the day.
Wait, where'd you learn that one?
Oh, I don't know, man. I read all the children's book. I guess. That's how I find out, right?
Our special guest today is a friend of mine, a close friend of my wife's. He is an amazing dude, Korean American, a Navy SEAL, former Navy SEAL, but on reserve,
Yes.
right?
No, just
No.
alright.
Okay, and then he's also an author of a book called Empa and Thee, A
my
Tale
gosh.
of Understanding and Kindness. Sung read this full through. He was like, I learned so much.
I did.
Did it take a while?
Empath and theme.
No, he read it fast, very fast, speed reading. But on the pod, we have Choi.
Yay!
Yeah, welcome, man.
Happy to be
You're
here.
one of these right here.
Happy to be here. Happy to be here.
Hey, man.
We're excited to have you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for taking time away from killing people and saving governments and stuff.
Selling ads.
Counter-Strike in real life. I
But
love
if
it.
you work for Amazon, you are working for like a big, governmental organization.
It's
So,
fun. I can't complain. It's fun.
Of course, you can't complain because
There's a lot to learn
they're
there.
always
Oh,
listening.
absolutely, absolutely.
But yeah. How was your day today, man? Because I know you came in today a
Yeah.
little hot, and so I wanted to mention it because you normally don't talk like you don't say like stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
today
yeah.
you were like heated. So what happened?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully I wasn't too heated, but
No, you're okay.
yeah, basically what happened today, what I was sharing earlier before we kicked this off is had a very interesting day that was surrounded my car. So yesterday, parked my car, everything normal as usual, and I wake up actually no, I'm gonna tell this part of the story. So before I go to bed, I hear a car alarm. I don't know whose it is, but I get a notification.
What time was this?
Like 12:30.
Okay.
Midnight 30. I get a notification on my phone that it's my car because it's a Tesla, so it's connected to your phone. It says your
Yeah.
car alarm's going off. So I'm like, oh, is someone trying to break into my car? Because at the time, my golf clubs were in my car too.
Oh, man.
So I'm worried about that. So what was the first thing I do? I go to the kitchen, I grab my kitchen knife, the biggest knife I could find, and then
Yeah, straight naval life. Yo,
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. And I go out to the car, and I'm just like peeking around to see if anyone's trying to break into my car. Nobody's there. It's dark. But I look across, and it's one of these scenes where I look, and it's my neighbor, and he's staring at me. I look at him. I look at my knife, and I try and hide it.
What was
But I look, him, me, knife, and I don't even do it like this. I put it behind my back. To try
Oh,
and hide
wow.
it.
Wait, did he? So he didn't respond. He didn't react or anything.
No, he was like
he was Latino.
he
then.
was stiff. He was just like staring at me, and I look at him, and I try and hide the knife, and I just do this. I look at it, I just wave, and I just go back in the house. He probably thinks I'm crazy.
You're probably Michael
You're-
Myers, man.
Yeah, right.
Being nonchalant about
Well,
it.
that's good. You got to kind of establish that that
Right.
craziness.
But who
so
brings
no one
like a
messes with it.
cutting knife? Like I don't even know what I was thinking.
At
Anywho.
12:30 at night.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Anywho, so the next morning when I wake up, I take a look at the car because just the way it is all set up, like you have to move the cars around a lot because they're street sweeping and all that shit. So
Yeah.
like you don't want to get ticketed. So I wake up and I'm about to move the car. That's when I see what happened, why the alarm went off. There was a huge streak on the side, like basically a car just sideswiped me, right?
Jeez.
And when I took a look at the video, because Teslas do have that
Yeah,
camera,
yeah.
some guy just basically backed into my car,
Oh
like,
my
and
gosh.
just, it's just sideswiped the whole thing, then boned out. So I'm like, okay, it is what it is, fine. The damage isn't too bad. And so what I ended up doing was I moved my car and parked it somewhere where you can normally park all the time. Go back to my house. It's a work from home day, so I'm just, I'm selling ads, trying to
Selling
at least
ads.
on Amazon for Amazon.
Bezos listening right now.
Yeah,
yes.
right.
And that's your cover.
And then
Did you
Yeah,
say
see-
Bezos?
Yeah.
Bezos.
Bezos. That's his song.
Yeah, close.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Is
Jeffrey
that close?
Bezos. It's Jeffrey
Isn't it
Bezos, right? Yeah.
Bezos?
You're right. It's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is it Bezos
No,
or
it's
is it
Bezos.
Bezos.
So basically, yeah. So I move my car, and then I go about my day, and then I get an alarm again on my phone, but I don't see it till about an hour later.
Oh my god.
And it's the same thing. Car alarm went off. So I'm thinking like, oh, it's daytime. No, like I live right next to a school. There's no way someone tried breaking into my car. I go, I said, car's gone. It got towed.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
So like double whammy. So car's towed. So I'm like, all right, cool. I do that, and
That's
then
cool.
Scrape, car missing.
scrape, car missing. So I go to the towing yard. I pay to get the car out because they start charging by the day. So I do all that. Then I meet up a buddy for lunch. But prior to that, he hooks me up with like his a mechanic. Super
Oh,
cool
that's
guys, all good dudes, and they help me out. So the car's there right now. But then they give me a rental. It's not their fault, but Enterprise, the
Are they
company.
Tesla like mechanics though? Aren't
Huh?
you supposed to only go to Tesla people?
Nah, you can go.
No,
wherever.
mechanics you can go to other ones because when my sister had a Tesla,
Yeah.
I messed that up.
He's-
Yeah, I messed it up big time, dude. Like
that
with
car
it.
was
What did you
wrecked
put
by
gas
sun.
in it?
No, bro. What I did was I reversed into a cone this little.
She
I
has the
couldn't see it,
nicest
and that
sister.
one little thing hit, and the whole Tesla got like Jess saw it. Jess was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Do you hit a truck?" I was like, "I hit this little park." It's like how embarrassing to hit the little parking thing. that sticks
Yeah.
up. It's like this little.
I mean, I've never done it.
So
but
big guys shouldn't
No.
drive Teslas. Okay.
Or dress them. you're
Dress
right.
them.
No, but it's true. I mean, cars are very like
The Teslas
fragile.
are
Whoa, your
Fragile.
Tesla is, bro.
Yeah.
That
That's
car is
basically
tin
like
can.
It's
like
aluminum
carbon
on wheels.
fiber.
It is very
Yeah.
fragile, right? And so, before I got here, basically what happened was, I got that Enterprise car, but is not working properly. In the sense of this is nothing on the key fob remote's working, and the car was clearly not cleaned and things like that. And I remember I just like kind of want to say, hey, so what's going on here? And even they were surprised. They were like, oh, normally is Enterprise, they're not like this. They're like, hey, you can drive there if you want to and get it replaced. And I'm like, dog, you know what?
Final destination.
Yeah,
for you today,
you know
man.
what? Yeah, exactly. Give me more L's today. I want more L's today. So I was like, no, yeah, I'm good. I'll take
What a
this.
chipper fellow you are.
So we ate lunch and now I'm here. So that's
Well,
what happened
now
today.
you're gonna get a W here, man.
Yeah.
So
He
thank
walked
you for
in.
coming.
He walked in with his gloves, or his golf clubs on, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Are we golfing tonight? Is he gonna like show us his best club?" But it makes sense. You
No,
can't leave your
this
clubs
area is,
in
this-
the car because he's gonna
Our
get
studio
robbed.
is in a dangerous area because
This
you know
studio
the studio,
is-
man.
I'm
it's-
looking at my phone right now. Make sure
Yeah.
my car alarm don't go off right now, man.
Yeah.
it's very.
It was the
likely.
first time it ever happened, but at the same time, I try to keep a positive perspective about it. At the end of the day, I was like, okay, it sucks, but I'm not happy about it, but it's not the end of the world. It's
And
fine.
now you know like how your car works. So every time you have an alert, you're like, my car could be towed.
Yeah.
My car could be scratched.
Right.
And I need to get the fuck outside.
Right.
And keep my knife lower.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things you've
Don't
learned.
let the neighbor see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it all works out.
How awkward
so.
would it be when you go see your neighbor again?
Yeah, I'll probably just.
No, you know
You
what?
should
You
just wave.
you established something
Just
there.
wave at him. Though, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Honestly,
this is you're new there.
Yeah.
He just got no.
Oh,
he
now
just-
they know.
He just got his place
He's
there. He just
establishing
bought
boundaries.
it. It just went through escrow. You're establishing your
I
boundaries,
know,
bro. Like,
I mean,
Yeah.
he probably thinks I'm crazy. To be
Yeah,
honest.
Well,
yeah.
and you
Go
should.
introduce yourself and be like, hi,
Yeah.
I am
And
a
put
retired
one hand behind your
Sophia."
back.
Yeah, what if I just start knocking violently
No,
on
don't
the
do
door?
that,
Just
'cause
da,
then-
da, 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 da.
He'll bring his knife out.
Yeah. Yeah,
Empathy.
I just want to drop something off, man.
Yeah, you should drop off this book.
I'm a
He's
nice
like,
guy.
Dude, he's gonna kill.
He's
this guy's
like
gonna
so
kill me.
confused.
But yeah, dude, I'm sorry that you went through that, dude.
Oh,
but,
it's all good. It's all good. Life goes on.
But for people who don't know who you are, because we just went through a whole thing. Now people are like, "Yo, this guy Joe is crazy because he pulled out a knife." Just
And don't drive a car with him at all.
Yeah, don't drive a car with
Yeah.
him. No, well, I mean,
Fast
he has
and
a car.
Furious is not his jam.
No,
right?
no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no. And
But,
apparently I'm bad luck.
Can you give us a little bit of your background, just who you are, where you came from, and then just your journey within how you became a Navy SEAL, first of all, because
Yeah.
not a lot of Asian people. I mean, we go into the Army.
Yeah.
Korean, I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
because it's easy, and
My
it's no
dad's
more.
arm, yeah, too,
Right.
yeah.
There you go.
But I'm intrigued. I need to know why.
So let me take one step back before I tell the story. I actually think that this is such an important reason why that all it takes is one person or one moment to really make a difference in someone's life, especially like the youth and growing
Yeah.
up, because that was certainly my case. So what happened was, I remember this. So I grew up Catholic. We were at a church picnic, 4th grade. My godfather, he went to Virginia Military Institute, so VMI, I think. right? And there you go.
Virginia,
what's
baby.
up?
What's up, baby?
And so he was a very big proponent of like military institutes, for college and stuff. So he at 4th grade, I looked up to him. I thought he was a really cool guy. Just 4th grade. I mean, I don't know.
4th grade, yeah.
I don't know much now,
Everyone's
but
cool.
I knew less then. And he was just telling me about, hey, you know what? I think you'd be a great fit for West Point. And I said, what's West Point? And West
In
Point.
4th grade, he said that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And West Point's the
How were
military
you
academy.
built as a
Of
4th
course.
grader?
He's like, I've been eating those green
Yeah.
beans.
He's probably like six.
Marching
bean
in
stock.
class like, dude.
Yeah, I was like, I wore
Amazing.
glasses. And I was like, no, yeah, but he told me that, and I remember, I thought to myself, okay, I just said yes. I was like, that sounds great. I'm gonna go to West Point, the U.S.
Wow.
Military Academy, all that stuff. But it became a self-fulfilling prophecy because what ended up happening was when people would start asking me, hey, where are you gonna go to college? I would say, oh, I'm gonna go to West Point, and people would say, oh, that's a great college. So it was like this cycle of
Natural manifestation.
right
Yeah.
there you go.
knew.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly that. So by the time I was in high school, I just firmly believed I'm gonna go to a military academy. So I was,
But question,
Yeah.
did you, okay, of course, a prestigious school, it was something to look forward to. Did you think about what that actually meant though? Like military school, like were you okay with everything you had to do, what you had to like, live up to? Because it's a lot of things that you have to create for yourself mentally to, withstand.
Yeah, I'd say yes and no. I think a lot of yes in the sense of like as far as the rigor of the program, of the college and all that. As far as what comes after that, honestly, I had no clue.
Yeah.
Like in the sense, I knew on paper what it meant.
Yeah.
What it was, but I didn't know how it truly was gonna pan out. Like what exactly it meant to do it. So that's why I say yes and no.
Yeah.
But I think honestly, sometimes you have at least some of my classmates, I think it's very similar stories where you're inspired to go for the right reasons, and you find out later, okay, no, there's more to it. I think part of it is the learning process as you go.
Did you ever meet someone that you're like, oh, he's not here for the right reasons, but
Oh,
and
yeah,
then you-
that's a good question.
And then he became a SEAL or whatever, and you're like, oh, I don't want to be a part of this guy's like, I don't want him to be a part of my unit or whatever. Like
Like you met 21 Jump Street where they had Jonah Hill. They're like, he's not fit for being a
there you
police.
go, yeah. Thank you.
I think I've certainly met classmates where they're certainly not my flavor. I would not hang out with them.
Yeah.
I think some definitely joined for the wrong reasons. I think I was one of those middle cases where I had an idea of why I joined, but not fully until like after.
So when was the moment when you finally executed? You're a part of this. You did training. You suffered through hell and back through it. When was the moment when you were like took a step back and were like, wow, I'm actually really doing this?
Oh, I actually think it was like during that freshman summer because there's like a boot camp that happens, and it's like 9 weeks long. And I remember after doing it, and to be fair, it's not like something that's overly challenging, but it's something very new. If you think boot camp is you're completely separated from family and friends, you're put into this program very regimented. You're being yelled at all the time. You're doing
Is
X,
this the
Y, Z.
naval program
This
or
is
the
Naval
Naval
Academy.
Sea or
This is Naval Academy. And I think after going through all that was when I knew, oh, I'm in the right place. I'm in the right
Wow,
place.
so it did hit you.
Yeah.
You knew like it all aligned.
I felt it. I felt it.
Yeah.
And the reason why I picked Naval Academy over West Point was because this is I played water polo in high school and I really wanted to play college water polo. West
And those
Point.
were some of the hottest guys I've ever seen. Is the water polo guys.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Right, man. We should play water
Yeah.
polo,
Yeah.
man.
Can you
I
say
have
that
a
one more
Speedo.
time?
I wear a Speedo all the time.
Yes. Wow.
And that's what happened. I really wanted to play collegiate water polo. West Point did not have a college water polo team. And this is where I say, there's a little bit of ignorance or immaturity maybe of why I picked one over the other, but it's because I wanted to play college water polo. It didn't pan out. I played one season before I got cut, but that was also a great learning experience. And also, I still got to play a little bit of college water polo, which was fun. It was a really good time. But that's really the reason why I picked one over the other.
It sounds
Wow.
great.
Really?
Like
Wow.
20
That
guys.
water polo.
It was water
crazy.
polo.
20 guys in
What
a pool with Speedos. That sounds
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, it's like a butterfly effect, man. That one little thing changed everything.
It changed
Yeah,
the
your whole
trajectory
course.
of my life. It really did.
Okay, so let me ask you this: since you were there in the Naval Academy, tell me about like the L's and the W's.
Yeah, I think at the Naval Academy, actually, I was rejected at first. So this is where I'm super thankful to my water polo coach. As much of a nutcase as he was, He actually emailed me not too long ago because he heard me on another podcast for Berkeley because I went there for grad school. So he actually messaged me, which was kind of very a new and interesting feeling because he was your old school hard ass coach. You know, we grew up with those kind of coaches where very like verbally like, you know, I'm not gonna say some of the stuff he said here, but he actually messaged me. But a win was this. I initially got rejected from Naval Academy. I got into West Point. So a week before we had to finalize our decision, the water polo coach actually called me and said, hey, listen, okay, here's the deal. You are number 7, let's just say, on the roster. I can only give out 4 positions or 5.
Yeah.
He says, if any of these guys drop out, because I know you got rejected, I'll put you in. So he's the one who got me in because one of the guys dropped out, so I was the next guy in line. So thankful. So that's why I'm very thankful. And so that I say that was a win. A short-term loss at the time was when I got cut from the team. Because you have to imagine, that was the first time I ever experienced something like that. You know, I had this dream, this thought, like,
were you the only Asian guy on the team?
At the time, there was a guy before, but he got cut, and then I was the other Asian guy. Yeah, and
I swear it's
and
racist.
Then they just cut you guys out. Is that why he reconnected because of his girls?
No, I think there was good reason. I was very young and immature at the time, and I took it for granted that I was on the team. And
you weren't good enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. In many senses, yes. Yeah. In many senses, yes. And I think on the B squad, because they're A squad, B squad, he did play me on the B squad. I took it for granted because in my head too, I was like, oh, I'm better than this guy. Nice. I was like, there's no way that he's gonna cut me. And so I started.
You real good.
Yeah. That's the 6-man effect.
He gave you humble pie.
Right.
The 6-man effect.
And that's why I said it was a good life lesson because I took it for granted. I thought I was safe, and instead of working hard, I kind of slacked a little bit, and it was very humbling, and it was a great life lesson because it came back full circle. Where I was like, wow, oh my gosh, you kept this guy on the team, and you cut me, but I'm better than this guy. At least that's what I thought in my head. You know, young, immature, maybe arrogant. And
well, obviously, because then you picked this path just to do this.
Yeah.
You chose this over the other school, right? West Point, and then you're there.
Right.
And then now you think, okay, you're comfortable, everything's good, and then boom, you got cut, and that probably was like the turning point for you.
Oh, it was
so he's probably someone you should send cookies to.
Yeah, give
like,
a shout out to your coach, man. Give a shout out to your coach, man.
Mike Schofield.
No, he's like, I didn't even want to be a SEAL. I just want to be a water polo player.
But actually, to be fair, is we always kept a great relationship, and moving forward, our senior year, he actually gave me a recommendation because in order to get selected to go to SEAL training, you do need recommendations. And I actually asked him and I still always maintain a good relationship. And he actually wrote me one. And to me, that meant a lot.
Oh, that's
because
good, man. Hell yeah.
In the history for Navy water polo, there's only been maybe one person who's quit. Everybody else some people get injured, but Navy water polo had a reputation that if you get selected for SEALs, you're going to make it through training.
Wow.
And that's why to me it was such a big deal that he actually wrote it for me because he could have easily said no. He could have been like, I don't think you're the right stuff for it. But he wrote it for me. He wrote very nice words, and, you know, I got lucky enough to get selected to go. So that's why, you know, regardless of that short-term loss that didn't work out, the long-term win was, 2 things. I got to study abroad in Japan, 1, for a semester. And 2 was I got selected for SEALs. So I think that was a big win.
That's kind of cool because so you sucking at water polo essentially made you a freaking Navy SEAL.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's like some John Wick stuff.
No, I mean that's the thing. This guy didn't think that you're good enough to be a water polo player, but you're good enough to be a SEAL.
So he knew your talents. He directed your talents in the right direction.
He saw the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
Mike Schofield, I don't know about that. He was a very passionate man. I'll put it at that. He was a very passionate man.
Okay.
I was always curious. So being in Naval Camp, like, were you able to balance like relationships?
Oh, are you talking about romantic?
Yeah, of course, romantic.
Oh,
yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, romantic relationships. Yeah.
Me, I was such a nerd. I was such a square in college. No,
really?
No.
Really? I'm pretty sure you were a stud muffin like you playing water polo.
All I focused on was school, hanging out with friends, and I think I played like a bunch of video games.
Which is great. There's nothing wrong with it.
Well,
You're a Navy SEAL. F that. Who cares?
There were no
Doesn't
girls.
matter about the journey.
There's so much mental pressure to bring on trying to make relationships work is like a whole nother issue and like mental fuckery. You know, so it makes sense. But when did you start allowing relationships come into
after
your life?
Naval Academy.
Okay, so when you went into Naval Academy, let's timeline it. So when did you give us a timeline?
Yeah.
Of it
So
all? Yeah.
2005 is when I graduated from high school, and from 2005 through 2009 is when I was at the Naval Academy, and it was after that, after I graduated, spent some time in Japan, spent some time in Korea, and that's actually where I had my first relationship.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
I was there for like a State Department scholarship. You know, we were there to. It's like cultural immersion, but we also study Korean and
Was she
things
like
like
a
that.
fob?
You
or
should have
she-
married her.
She was straight Korean.
better
Korean.
than-
Oh, okay,
better than-
you got your first relationship was a fob. Okay, that's
She was straight
beautiful.
Korean.
And she's probably okay. Anyways,
Okay. I mean,
you should have married her, dog.
No, she was a very
She would
nice
have been
girl.
a great wife right now. You'd have 3-4 kids right
Nah,
now.
she was a
don't
very
know
nice
that.
girl. She was a very nice girl. And
what's her name?
Hyung.
Oh,
Hyun.
hi,
Hyun.
Hi,
Not too
Hyun.
late.
I know he's right here,
Not too
man.
late. If you're still available. He's
She's definitely married with kids. I'm sure.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
See.
Put on the
We
next
got
spot.
we got a pretty big reach here, so
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, continents, you know.
There
so.
you go.
So
There
yeah,
you
back
go.
to your story. Korea.
So after Korea, I checked right into BUDS. So BUDS is Basic Underwater Demolition SEAL Training.
wow,
Oh, I
that
thought Bud's
sounds.
totally
Okay.
different, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. I was like,
Do you have pictures of this?
Oh, I got
Okay,
one.
so
I'll
send it
find
to
it.
us.
yes.
I'll
you wanna
find
see
it.
this.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump around a little bit.
Yes,
Let me
yes.
talk about the picture first.
Okay.
So there's this thing. There's a portion called Hell Week.
Oh, yes.
And there's a photo of me in Hell Week. And what is Hell Week? Hell Week is this. You start from Sunday and you go till Friday morning and you sleep 4 hours total.
Oh
so we
my
sleep 2 hours
gosh.
on Wednesday, 2 hours on Thursday. And this photo that you're going to see, and imagine this, we're running the entire time. We're carrying
wait. 2 hours on Wednesday, 2 hours on
hours.
Thursday.
4
That's
hours
it.
total
That's it.
from Sunday
4 hours,
until
Wow.
Friday.
4 hours total. And actually, you'd be surprised at how much you can push your body because
Yeah.
you'd be very
Yeah,
surprised.
that's a bunch of bitchy dudes in the barracks.
But that's
Am
what
I-
the Navy SEAls are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
SEAls are like pushing it to every limit
Right.
possible. Yeah.
Right. And some might call it stupidity. At least that's what I thought. I was just too dumb to quit. So there's a photo of me, and I'll send to y'all afterwards. It's that Wednesday before we took our first nap. So imagine this. We've been up since Sunday.
Oh my
We're
gosh.
running a ton. We're just... honestly, we're just miserable because they make us wet all the time, too. They make us... Wait,
Yo.
phrasing.
Seal, that's the seal aspect.
Phrasing. They make us get into the water, into the ocean, and get wet.
Oh, I
Yeah.
saw
Oh,
Ah.
you mean they put
See,
you in the
I'm
ocean?
a
Right.
chick.
Yeah, yeah.
I wasn't. I was like, ooh, a seal.
Even me, I was like, huh.
I was like, what kind of
Phrasing.
wet? Bunch of
Phrasing.
dudes wet, but no, they put you in the ocean. They
Yeah,
throw
as
you in
in,
there.
so for a punishment, it sounds so
Sounds
simple,
cruel.
but it's
No,
very,
it's so
very
cruel.
effective.
I've
Yeah.
seen
Very
G.I.
effective.
Jane, so I know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's like that, yeah.
So
right?
they just say,
G.I. Joe.
they'll say, hit,
No, Jane.
hit the surf, get wet and sandy. So what that means is
Oh,
you have to
man.
run to the beach from wherever you're at. You have to completely splash in. And then before you run back, you just plop onto the sand and just roll around and just make yourself a sugar cookie.
Ugh.
And then you come back. But they give you a time limit too. They're like, you better make it back within like, a minute. Or
But all of this is torture because it's like every aspect of like nature, like water, sand,
Right.
momentum of your
Oh,
body.
yeah.
Sand for
endurance.
sure.
Yeah,
It's
you're
like,
cold, you're chafing,
You're
it
just,
You're
sucks.
chafing.
you're
yeah.
just mentally getting drained
Right,
and getting
right.
tortured, and it's like
sucks.
non-stop for
So
you.
how close were you about to snap?
Okay, that's a great
Oh,
question.
good question. What, as far as like quitting?
yeah, man. Yeah, how far were you from quitting? Cause like that's that.
Nah. And I'll tell you why. So I made a decision very, very early on. Remember, I talked about Navy water polo. We had a tradition. We had a legacy.
Okay.
Nobody quits. So that was one. So there's a lot of pressure, right? Because though I didn't play all 4 years, I was still part of the team at one point. So I felt this feeling that I owed it. I said,
Yeah.
okay, if I got selected, because there's limited slots to go.
Yep.
I got selected to go. I couldn't be that guy who quit because that means I took away another spot from somebody who would have made it.
Yep.
That's one. Two, and I truly mean this. I really mean this at the core of my soul, is that if I quit, I remember I told myself I was going to move away and start a new life. I would never see my family or friends ever again because how could I bear the shame to come back and look at my dad in the face and said, hey, Dad, I'm really sorry. When life got a little bit hard, sorry, you raised a little bitch.
That's
You know?
a testament of the brotherhood of what you endured, though. So to me, that's very beautiful.
Did
'cause
he
that's like
go-
the cusp of it all.
Did he go like, oh, good job, like I'm proud of you, or he's like, oh, kore? 잘했어. Navy SEAL.
Let me tell my
우리
friends.
친구랑 아들은 Navy SEAL이야. You know, like.
So 2 parts to this story. I think they were looking out for me, my mom and dad, because they realized they had no idea at the time. But once they equated it, they're like, oh, this is UDT, underwater demolition teams. Because in Korea, they call it UDT. Once they realized that what I was doing was the UDT training, I remember they called me before I kicked off, and I remember this lighted a fire in me because it pissed me off.
Oh,
I love this.
Yeah, they went like this. They said like, hey, this is like really hard. We know it's okay if you don't make it. And I went like this. I'm like, what? Do you think I'm not going to make it then? They're like, no, we're not saying that. We're just saying like, if you quit. And I'm like, if I quit?
Your parents knew though.
Yeah.
This is the way to motivate
your parents
you.
love you, man.
Yeah.
My parents were like, don't ever come back if you're not a SEAL, bro.
I don't know. It could also mean like your parents know you well enough that they knew this is what would trigger you to make you go all the way.
Maybe.
Because that's a support system as well.
Right.
I don't know.
And maybe, I don't know, maybe
Korean parents are not that. They're not that into it.
Is that just like a
no,
white dad?
they're not.
Okay,
They're
that
just
was
like
my white dad.
You never know. Maybe
he's white. He's white.
No,
That's
but
why.
if you're Justice for her dad, like,
I know,
He's
but
white.
But
That's
maybe
why.
your parents aren't like
honestly,
that. Okay.
hey, maybe they're playing Jedi mind tricks on
That's
us.
what I'm
Actually, I
saying.
don't know.
No, Jedi
okay.
mind tricks.
It's just old
Korean
school Korean.
parent
Either way,
mind
I'm glad
tricks.
that you heard
Yeah.
that story. They told you that.
Yeah.
That's what probably more motivated.
But
pushed
I
you.
got so that kind of, not that that's what I needed, but that certainly gave me extra motivation. That pushed me like to be like, oh, now it went from 1,000% to 1,000,000% now. I am definitely not quitting because part of me was so upset.
It's your
that-
MO. Like you have to execute
Right.
and accomplish.
Because I was like, I was so surprised by that comment because normally they were always so supportive and they were always like, oh, you can do it. You can do it. This was the first time ever in my life when they were like, they showed a little bit of doubt. And I'm like, oh, fuck this. I'm going to
they're
prove
good
it.
parents.
Because the reason why is because they know how hard that shit is. Like,
Right.
they're kind of honoring you because they're giving you a way out, so you don't feel like
I think we're
you're a
giving them
failure.
Korean
No?
parents a lot of credit.
Really?
I think so.
feel like,
Maybe because
I feel like maybe they wouldn't have said it and they would have gave you shit if they didn't think about it. To me, that's how I would think.
You know, I disagree with you because you know what? If I was in that same situation, my dad, my mom would say the same thing.
Yeah,
that they
because it's
said.
like give you a
Especially
way
my
out.
mom, too,
Because
like-
a lot of Navy SEALs, they like it's so treacherous and so you have to have
It
the endurance
sucks.
is crazy. No, it's like you watch G.I. Jane. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, no, I
She
know,
shaved-
I know, I
she
get
shaved
it.
her head. Like,
No, I
she-
get
she-
it.
she had to go
I'm
bald
just
to
saying we're
maintain.
giving. I believe that we give our parents a little bit more credit. You know what?
I don't
Let
know.
me
I
rephrase.
don't know his parents.
Hearing what you're saying, I think your parents were being genuine because if you say they have always supported you, I've always gotten a backhand support. Like, you sure? Yeah, you don't have the right shoes for that.
So you're projecting that. I get that.
I'm projecting. I'm projecting.
How do you really
I'm
feel,
like,
man?
I'm
I'm
angry.
just trying to give a benefit of doubt because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's like, think about having your kid. Of course, you go through all of these things
Right.
as immigrants as well. You're coming to a new country, and like your kid's trying to be the one of the hardest, most grueling,
Right.
parts of service for our military, and like they're trying to give you a way out. So I was
Right.
just trying to honor that because it's
No,
like.
absolutely.
Even if you're correct too, that they
I'm
were
just-
just like
Yeah.
they're
That was
just
a nice-
being
that-
dicks
that's-
and they're
that's
like
why we need
backhanding
you.
you. But
That's why we need you on the podcast.
But I think that's awesome that your parents were giving you an opportunity to have a way out, but it encouraged you.
It totally did.
pushed you to the edge.
And I think they were very genuine. They were very supportive, in
Yeah.
their own way.
Yeah.
So part 2 of that is imagine this. So we're up since Sunday. We finish on Friday morning. The coolest feeling ever is you're wearing normally a white shirt, just your regular like Hanes white shirt with your name stenciled on. The moment you finish Hell Week, which is about 7 weeks into training, they give you what's called a brown shirt. And what is it? It's a brown shirt.
What does that mean?
It's
though?
literal. Yeah.
It's literally a brown shirt.
Yeah.
But the brown shirt is that badge showing that you finished Hell Week.
Oh,
Right.
that's pretty
So
cool.
you when you're done, you're walking back, you're stumbling back to the barracks, and there is a brown shirt waiting for you with your name stenciled, and they had a huge thing of Gatorade and a Domino's pizza box.
Oh my
Yeah.
God!
Waiting for
Everything
you.
you need in life.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I remember that. Imagine this, because you're up so much, 2 things happen. Like you're just hallucinating.
Mm-hmm.
2, because you're eating so much, because they feed us a lot, 4 meals a day, and they encourage you to eat a lot. You get such bad acid reflux that everything starts tasting like styrofoam.
What are you eating though? Like corn on the cob? Like, I
Oh,
don't know.
whatever.
I'm just watching
It's like
movies.
it's like
Salisbury
literally like
steaks.
it's like
Yeah,
rice,
yeah.
meat, like vegetables, whatever they're giving you.
Yeah.
But because you're eating so much, so often, you have such bad acid reflux, so everything here is burned.
Yeah.
Like you can't. It lasts for like a week. But what does that also mean in effect? You start losing your voice. Like, you know, it starts like, you know, right? It's like you start really losing your voice. But I remember the two people I called were, one, my SEAL mentor, because I know it's an older SEAL who mentored me at the Naval Academy leading up to training. And I talked with him for very briefly. And then I did call my dad. And then he was like a moment where I just knew like how proud he was, because I could, and my dad's not the type to be emotional. Yeah, but he's not that type, you know, just classic. But I could hear him kind of sort of crying in the background. But that made me start sort of tearing up and crying too, right? So that's how I knew he was like very, very proud. Yeah. Because I think
he's proud of him.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying your parents are you sound cry like
projection.
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 You know, like that's the thing. Like that's.
You need more of this in your life.
I need more of this in my life.
Pew, pew,
Yeah,
pew,
no,
pew.
honestly, you're that's great. Yeah, I'm sorry, I was projecting. I was hating a little bit because I was like, wait a minute, Korean parents aren't like that.
We psychologically evaluated two situations.
Oh, this
here.
is the healing moment, you know. So.
We're all healing.
Okay.
Let me tell you, dang, after that though, because you're burning so many calories, imagine this. So we run about 2 marathons worth during that time.
Oh my god.
And you're running with a boat on your head. A
With a
rubber
what?
boat, like a Zodiac.
How heavy is this
what is
boat?
that?
With paddles. You know, like when you go.
Oh, a boat?
a canoe,
A boat?
like a
What they
canoe.
call
Like
a
a
hat like a
canoe.
boat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a canoe.
But
You're holding
you're with
them.
multiple. It's like up to 6 people holding it.
Exactly, 6 people. So when you're like paddling,
Yeah.
imagine this. You know, if you go like whitewater rafting,
Yeah,
it's like that kind of boat.
Exactly.
So you carry that on head, which is really painful.
It's like a dinghy sized boat. Yeah.
It's really painful. Yeah,
Exactly,
really
yeah.
painful. Like it's just heavy. It's about like, it may not sound like much, but it's probably like 240 pounds.
It's a
total.
lot when you haven't slept and you're eating eating ridiculous
And you're
like,
hallucinating.
Yeah,
Yeah, and everyone's like, you have to.
And it was grouchy.
Yeah, you have to carry it on your head. Everybody starts getting a bald spot here.
Do you have one?
I did at the point. Hopefully, I don't have that
because
now.
that's where you put the
No,
pressure
yeah,
of all of the weight. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
that's fine.
right.
I have my ball sponge.
Well, yeah, no. It
Yours
was.
is somewhere else.
Yeah,
Like,
I know. It's
over
because
there.
I've been holding
Like over
boats
there.
on my head.
It was an intense time, and actually that weekend I went back home, and man, I have so much luck with the law.
I mean, you should
Are you
say
sure
that
it's not
out
'cause
loud.
you're not
You better
showing
knock
like
on
a
something right
Navy
now.
SEAL
Knock on the
sign?
wood. Knock on the wood. Don't ever see.
I was driving home because I was so happy I finished Hell Week, and I was gonna go meet up with my friends because I'm driving from San Diego to Fullerton to hang out with my buddies, and I was
How
speeding.
old were you? How old
24.
Were you? Okay, so this I just wanted.
No. I'm sorry. At that time, I was 23.
Okay, so contextually, I just wanted to
23,
throw that
yeah.
out there. Okay,
So-
you're 23.
so much younger.
Wait,
Yeah.
what are we talking about here right now? Because
I just finished Hell Week.
okay, hell week.
I
Okay.
just finished Hell Week.
No, I thought we were talking about DUIs or
Hold on.
something. I was like, wait. Sorry.
Hold on,
I
we're gonna
just
come back
finished
to
Hell
it.
Week. I'm driving, but I'm speeding like crazy because I'm just excited,
So,
like
yeah,
you
of
know.
course,
But I'm
yeah.
also tired too, to be honest. I'm exhausted. You know,
Yeah.
this is Saturday. This is literally the day after Friday, when we were done with Hell Week, and a cop pulls me over.
Oh my
And I'm
gosh.
just like, hey, I'm really sorry. I just finished. But he could tell by the look on my face, like
I just finished Hell Week.
I just
right
finished
now.
Hell Week. I'm excited. I just want to get to see my friends. He let me go, thankfully.
Wow.
So you told him.
Well, I'm in training, and this is I'm
Did
really.
you have to show him anything?
No, he.
Then I'm gonna use that. He's gonna look at me like, no,
that's
you
not
ain't.
how it works.
First off, you
Trust
look like
me.
you don't want to know Hell Week, bro.
I look at me. I look like I've been to the hell
You're
weeks.
right. First off, he does it, and they're like, "Let me see,
Yeah.
see all
Let me
your
see your
badges.
bald spot.
Oh,
Let me see your bald spot." He's like,
He's like, my parents stayed me. No,
okay, yeah, you're right. They would know right
But
away.
we went to Denny's. I met up with some of the friends,
Oh my
and
God, Denny's is class.
man, but
24,
this is where I
Denny's is
just
everything.
right. This is where I realized like how your metabolism changes like this.
Yeah.
I ate 4 like orders of food because I was so hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, well, to spare details, I went to go use the bathroom afterwards. My buddies were chatting, having a good time. 30 minutes later, they're like, dude, where is this guy? They found me asleep on the toilet.
Oh, because it was like overwhelming. Everything.
well, I'm
all
just
the
exhausted.
food,
I just haven't
tired,
slept.
You were sitting on the toilet, or you were like throwing up in the like,
No. I was
You're
the
just
former.
sitting.
I
The
was.
crazy part, the thing I'm
just
trying to
sitting.
process is more like you sat in the Denny's toilet for 30 minutes.
Yeah, there you
okay.
go.
Okay. That's how I was like, oh,
There you go. I was on the
Were
Denny's.
your pants down?
Huh? Oh, it was the full shebang,
Oh,
man.
okay.
Oh.
So you fell asleep while you
I was
were
taking a dump, if that's what you're asking.
Oh.
I was taking a dump, and I
He
fell
gave
asleep.
them the full grand
Yeah.
slam. You know what I'm saying?
But you deserve that sleep. At that point,
Yeah.
you're exhausted, so it makes sense.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Just listening to your story, I'm just like, Ooh, man, that's crazy. I'll be honest. I probably won't be able to go through that. I'll be some chicken shit. I'll be not
No,
gonna
you'd
get
be
there.
surprised. You'd be very surprised.
But I have a
No,
question.
you're right.
So,
you're right.
in your training, what was the absolutely grueling, most painful experience? What was the activity that made you feel like you were gonna break?
Oh, running with that boat on my head.
Really?
Because imagine this. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a little diagram. So boats are not flat.
Yeah.
They're
course.
bowed a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So okay, imagine if this bow is here, right?
Can you flip it so we understand? Like,
Yes. Okay. So but like that right there. So let's say
No,
it's
not that way. Flip it this way, upside down. Yeah.
upside down.
Upside
Okay.
down.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just a boat, man. Just
Yeah.
it's a boat.
But
I
imagine
can't visualize
it's
it.
a rubber raft, right? Right here, right? So there's 2 people in the front, 2 people in the middle, 2 people in the back. We call it the 1, 2, 3 spot. The 2 spot, the middle, carries the most weight
Yes.
because the boat bows.
Yeah.
However, because I was an officer, the expectation, rightfully so, is hey, you're gonna lead, meaning you're gonna do the hardest thing. So in Hell Week, I would say half the time I'm running in the 2, which is a very taxing position.
Yeah.
It's exhausting, and
Yeah.
I was not like I didn't have the strongest neck because imagine you get
Yeah, how many hours is this?
from Sunday to Friday.
No, you're holding the boat for Sunday. Like,
Dude, you're running with that thing the whole time, man.
Oh,
I
the
think
whole
sleeping- I think
day?
you're sleeping 2 hours though.
Yeah, 2 hours on Wednesday, 2 hours on Thursday.
So yeah, if you're not sleeping, you're holding no matter what.
No,
you're
I say either you're running with it or you're in the cold water. I mean, they mix it up.
Okay.
They mix it up.
Yeah, your neck's strong.
So I think what he's asking is, on a daily, like how many hours would you have to hold that boat for?
2 marathons worth.
Which is, can you,
Break that into
16,
layman's
so
terms.
52,
26,
like 53 miles.
So okay, so 2
Wow.
times 26. Okay, wow.
53 miles
53
The
miles
whole
a
time.
day?
53 miles.
Wow.
Yeah.
a day.
Yeah. Oh no, total throughohout Hell Week. So
Okay, so
Sunday
Oh,
to
okay.
divided
Yes.
by 5.
So 50.
Wow,
So
Six.
it's
it-
over
Yeah.
10 hours.
Math.
Over 10, look,
6.
little-
That's not my strong
Actually,
suit.
all right, let me simplify this. To just get to food to eat was 1 mile. So you're running with that boat. So you are and 4 so you have 4 meals a day. So during Hell Week, you are guaranteed that you're gonna run 8 miles worth with that boat on your head. Because just to get to the food,
That was the motivating factor. That's why they broke it up into 4 meals, because they have to give you something to look forward to.
right?
'Cause I'm
And they
pretty
encourage
shocked-
us to eat.
Yeah, no, of course, because that's gonna give you energy, but also
Right.
it's gonna make you lazy as well. So it's another mental thing you have to fight through.
Let me ask you this: what do you think that training? How did that apply to your Navy SEAL, like being a Navy SEAL? Do you think that was one of those? Because I've done basketball where it's like they're making us do things. I'm like, yeah, I don't need to do this. I'm like, why are you making it? It's just like conditioning.
Yeah.
You think was it all just conditioning, or it was like?
I think it's all a test case to make sure that we have that our nation can trust that when times get hard and tough, we are not going to quit.
Yeah.
Even doing some crazy mundane shit.
Yeah.
like
Well,
over
I
and
think
over
that's
and
the
over.
reason why we do it, right?
Yeah,
Why
for
else
sure.
would we subject ourselves to being in the cold water for hours? Why would we run all these miles? Why would we stay up a whole week only sleeping 4 hours unless we really believed and wanted to do something like this?
It's mentally compartmentalizing, and then
Correct.
being
Absolutely.
it's like being top tier at that. 100%.
Let me ask you this right now. At this point right now, can you do Hell Week right now?
No, I'd break.
You break?
I mean, here's the thing. I won't quit, but I will physically break.
Would you take that number 2 spot still?
Huh? Yes.
Wow.
Props.
But here's the thing. But I would break, though.
You
I
would
would break. I would break.
We'll
So-
have your mom and dad call you and
Huh?
you won't break.
No. I mean, I will do the best I can, but I would break.
Oh, okay.
I would.
What if your mom and dad doesn't call you?
Look, here's the thing. I
That's
can
good, that
believe.
was good.
I can believe as much as I want here.
Yeah.
I will say I won't quit, but I'll pass out. I will break.
course.
Physically, yeah.
I'll
for sure,
physically
yeah.
break.
It's different now.
I'll physically
Yeah.
break.
So let me ask you this. Now you talked about I'm pretty sure there's females there too, right?
For SEAL training, now they have the opportunity to try, but at the time when I was going through, it was all guys.
It was all
Yeah,
guys.
it's actually
males.
very new for females.
Wait, so G.I. Jane was alive?
I'm sorry to break
that's
it to you.
The
what,
Man.
hell?
that's what the entertainment industry gives.
I'm sorry to break it to you, man.
Sorry.
No, but yeah. So with that, what was next afterwards?
So afterwards, I decided it was a good time to get out of the military. The reason being was because I joined the SEAL teams because, in layman's terms, I wanted to run and gun. I wanted to be on the field, have a good time.
Have a good.
Yeah, protect our nation, fight bad guys, and do all that. I was hitting a position where I was now more strategic, so meeting more, very important, but a lot of planning, more meetings, less in the field. I didn't have a team anymore that I was leading. So I also wanted to make sure I left on great terms. You know, I wanted to leave happy.
Of course.
So I didn't want to leave angry or bitter. So I thought that was a great time to leave. So about 9 years into the Navy, I decided it was time to leave.
Wow, what an obscure number.
Yeah.
Because usually it's like even type
Right.
of number.
Four.
4 is to gain all the benefits, no matter what.
Yeah,
like you have to serve your 4, but then everything else is,
Yeah, I think
contingent on different
in our case, it was so Naval Academy coming out is 5 years that you sign up to serve.
5. See,
Right.
Okay.
Dang, they just make everything difficult for you guys. 100%.
But it took about 2 years to get through training. To be fair, so it was
2 years is insane.
It took about
2 years before you
Basic
became
training is what? 8 weeks?
Right. Well, at the Naval Academy, yes, but for buds, it took because I got injured midway, so it took a while to get through training.
Oh, but I mean, like for other.
Lung
Oh my gosh, what happened to you?
diving accident.
What happened?
We were so there's 3 phases in buds in the basic training, right? For SEAL training. The first one is to beat you up. Are we going to get you to quit? The second phase is diving, and the third phase is demolition and your basic marksmanship. I messed up on one procedure, and I held my breath when I shouldn't have. And there was already damage in my lungs, I think, from Hell Week. And air leaked out of my lung and got stuck in my chest cavity.
Oh,
Dude,
no.
you could die from this.
Yes.
This is
And
severe
so,
stuff.
Crazy,
so my
man.
voice sounded like Mickey Mouse when I got out of the water. It did.
Oh my god, he
guys,
could
what's up?
die.
What
That
the-
means he's at like the end for his voice to go
That's how
into
somebody
helium
caught it.
status. Yeah.
That's how somebody caught it. They were like, one of my buddies was like, dude, your voice sounds weird right now. I'm like, what are
Yeah.
you talking about? Because,
That's
I
You
dangerous.
can tell at that moment, right?
No. And the instructors come and they start giving me pure oxygen and they start doing the treatments on me and they're like, you idiot. You just, and I'm like, dude, I don't know.
Well,
what
you
I
don't
just-
know any better because you're pushing yourself to the limit.
Right.
Like it's a
I
It's
just
their
wanna pass.
fault.
it's a brute thing. Like you're gonna go
Yeah.
all the
I
way.
just wanna
They're the ones
pass.
who have to come in and mitigate like how much you're
Right.
pushing and to
Right.
stop you.
So it's their fault.
It is.
No.
their-
I
It-
mean,
Hey, yo,
it is in
a
a
is,
way
it is.
because
what I'm curious is like,
It is.
they're
it is.
trying to
do
prove how far you can go.
Do injuries like
so
that
it
frequently
is.
happen?
Yes,
Oh, all the
it
time.
does easily.
all the time. People pass out underwater.
Yeah.
People faint.
That's why he's a Navy SEAL. Like he is like a very small percentage of what gets through. Like I don't like Army,
What is the
Marine,
percentage?
Air Force. Navy SEAL is a very I don't know.
Yeah.
I
It's
can,
It's like
I don't want to.
50%?
25 to 30.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's 50%.
So,
that's like
if there
That's
ever
a
was a
lot,
zombie
yeah, right.
No,
apocalypse,
25%
you're the
is
first one I'm picking on my
a
team,
good-
man.
50
Thank
is
you.
high.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if I don't know if I'm the most qualified or not.
No, but
but-
if there's a zombie apocalypse like The Walking Dead, you're on my team, man. For
Well,
sure.
no, first of all, he's on our team.
Oh yeah, our team. Yeah.
Okay.
wow.
And
Truth
know-
comes out.
and by the way,
You know we're cutting
By
out
the way,
real
by-
fast.
Truth comes
by
out.
the way, I've already
cutting food off to
dubbed
this
him
guy.
as chief, operations of military and protection. Okay, so I've already dubbed him that in our zombie camp. Okay, you are
Not
the siren.
not the English
He's a siren.
communicator.
No,
he's
they're
not.
coming.
He's not the translator for sure.
No, he's a siren. He's a
Oh,
siren. He's a Paul
Okay.
Revere.
Yeah, I'm
The zombies are coming. The zombies are
Revere.
coming. Riding on a horse.
Oh my god, I can imagine it. I wish we had like a gift.
No,
for
we've
that.
already dubbed it. Okay, you're gonna be in the Conversations camp. Okay, all your friends and stuff that know they're gonna. First of all, they give him a lot of his friends that like I'll be like, oh, he's a Navy SEAL. And they're like, yeah, whatever, dude. Joe's a Navy. I'm like, you motherfuckers don't know that this guy will kill you. Like, first of all, if the crap hits the fan, they're all gonna come running to you with their tails under their legs, being like, Joe, what do we do? What do we do?
Because he's like land, water, everything. So
Yeah.
he understands marksmanship. all
Actually,
of
his
it.
group of friends actually are. Some of them are good, but none of them are Navy SEAL good.
That's why.
And I'm talking to you guys. I know all you guys. Some of you watch, so. But don't get it twisted. He's better than all of you guys.
I don't
so.
know if better. No. But
Well, it
different
shows
training.
on the. No, it shows. Okay.
From the experience.
Yeah, experience. Like if anyone has a military background, yeah, it ends at a certain point. You took that second step. You chose to go back and to pursue way more, right? And the fact that there's only 25% to 30% that actually passes.
Right.
You're amongst a lot of the elite. And what I love
Exactly.
about you is that you downplay it so much.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
And
Well, look, I mean, this guy
Yeah, bro.
came out 25%, and then he made a children's book, and it's called Empathy.
There you
So
go. Oh, you got it.
I think, of course.
Some people miss that.
And also, it's by JMC. So if you look for it, just know he's
Yes.
the one who did it. Joe is JMC. This is his
Pen name.
pen name.
there's going to be a movie starring what's that guy with the bald head? Jason Statham.
Oh my God,
Okay.
I would not have went there. I was like,
Lead
Empathy.
that.
No,
even
he's the
know
guy.
where to
He's the
go.
guy. He's the guy.
Yeah,
That's
he's
the
a guy.
kind of guy that does redemption stories.
Him
you know?
and that guy from Taken. What's the
Oh,
called?
yeah,
Liam
right here.
Neeson.
Robert
so
Empathy.
Liam Neeson
Which one is that?
Hollywood
Empa.
colors. I already got the story.
Yeah.
Okay.
I already got the story.
So from your crazy story, and then now this children's book, like, so what made you decide to do
Yeah,
this?
I
Yeah.
want to know, how did you
Yeah.
like segue?
It's like
into
totally
that?
opposite
Right.
of you are, yeah.
Yeah, I think remember how I talked about my story about how I was very impressionable and that one moment with my godfather really changed my life as a child in 4th grade
Yeah.
about going to a military academy. I think that subconsciously stuck with me, and I thought that I will really want to make a difference in youth's lives. So why, or in people's lives?
Yeah.
So why not start with the
Starting
youth? Yeah.
Because that's where you were impacted the most.
Correct. And I think maybe this is me projecting in a good way.
100%, in a great way. Yeah.
That I thought like, hey, because truth be told, actually, in elementary school, though everybody, they were all my friends, I was bullied a little bit in elementary school. And I remember it was this weird feeling that I had that, no, because he was my friend. He was my friend, but I still got bullied. It was like this weird dynamic.
Yeah. It's because he was going through things,
Right.
and then he abused you in a way, but that came from like
Right.
family stuff. You knew he's like a good guy, but
Right.
then you took it because you cared about him.
Right.
But then you also went through your own things, so then you kind of felt like maybe that's part of it,
Right.
right? So it was like a tug and pull kind of a relationship.
Correct.
But that's beautiful for you to understand, like, that you can, relate that into a story.
Right.
To,
So which one is he?
Huh?
Well, obviously.
Which one is that guy?
Neither.
Oh.
Oh,
Probably the tiger.
Yeah,
Vampire,
and
yeah,
you're
yeah.
the,
he looks
I
like.
don't
Look
want
at
to
his
call out
face,
anybody.
dude.
it's not a negative
Look
thing.
at that face.
What it is like for you were trying to be purely yourself and live into this,
Right.
world. And then he kind of gave you the understanding of like the negative, the positive, but then how to balance all of it.
Right.
So that's what the empathy,
Yeah.
comes from.
And he has a big trunk, so that's why.
Oh,
Oh my
jeez.
god. Hey,
Oh, jeez.
why?
We
Sorry, I know
talked-
you just
we
went
talked
through
about
like so much.
schlongs
You
a lot.
just went through so much like
No,
deep
no.
stuff, and I was like,
I have no problem talking about schlongs, but I don't know. Did
was like, that looks like a
you
dick.
think about? I'm just kidding.
purely,
No, but
purely
hey.
for alliteration. I'm like,
Yeah.
Empa the elephant and Thea the tiger had nothing to do
Oh,
with.
is that? I was about to answer my question. I was like, why an elephant and a tiger?
Because E for elephant and T for
yeah.
tiger.
I think it's perfect.
Okay, no, that's cool. It's
Yeah.
cool. It's just it's cute. I'll be honest. After hearing your story, I would never think you would have came with the book, which is very impressive. So you're a man of many skills.
it's
But-
perfect for me and Sung because we don't like a lot of words.
Like,
We like,
You like pictures? There's
yeah, we like
pictures in there.
pictures, pop-ups.
Let's
and
dumb
stuff.
it down for
Yeah,
us.
dumb it
Plenty of
down for
pictures in
us.
there.
So
I
for
read it.
me-
Me and Sung read
Yeah.
it like 4 times before you showed up.
Yeah.
so for me as a mom, right now, I have like hundreds of books next to my bed that I rock my baby in, and I read like Poo Poo Choo Choo. I read like every book out there. So I'm excited to add this, but like of course, all the things that you've been through, but like, what made you execute on this
Yeah.
concept?
I think we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier,
Yeah.
right? I generally, not always, I'm human. I try not to live with regrets. And only you will know this deep in your heart that if you're scared, if fear is the real reason why you're not choosing to do something. And once again, you can fake it all you want. Only you yourself will know this, that that's not a good enough reason. And because I was so compelled through the influence I had in my life, and also just my desire to eventually become a coach, for sports, because I think it's so important, to influence young people, that I knew that I had to do this. It boiled down to that. Don't let fear stop me from doing this, because there is so much that I've learned that I wish I could, that I wanted to try and
Yeah,
put on here.
Of course.
One, the aspect of the bullying, but two, as I alluded to, it wasn't a black and white scenario. It was very gray, and I think that's why I try and capture in this, because I do tell the same story, quote unquote, but from both perspectives.
Yeah, which is beautiful,
Yeah.
because normally it's always from one perspective.
Right.
So
I think that's the reason why I did it, because it's something that I didn't want fear to stop me from wanting to do this, because I knew that I thought it was a very important message to put out. And not to say I'm, the next like Hemingway or whatever. It's just it was something that I wanted to put out because
No, but
maybe
The
it might
next
change
Zeus.
one life. It
Yeah.
might change out
You
one life.
created
The next
an
Dr.
imprint.
Yeah,
Seuss.
no,
You
next
know?
level.
The next level.
Like this could be a child's favorite book, and you created them to understand two perspectives, you know, and especially multiracial, multi-animal,
Right.
you know, so it gives you a
So
lot.
Yeah, it's
do
African
you
and
have
Asian
another
for
book?
sure.
You make another
Wow,
book called
yeah.
maybe Sympathy.
People have asked me that question.
Sympathy could be the next book. It could be like a swan that says for S and the tiger's back again, right? Sympathy.
So
Then the next
people
movie.
have asked me that question.
Oh,
I'm not gonna say no, and I'm not gonna say yes. I think that the next step is to try and put more effort and getting input and fee out, and then from there we'll see. I do have, to your point, ideas in my head about spin-offs that I can do because I think there's a possibility for.
Song and Rhyme.
Huh? No. Okay. So yeah. No.
Sorry.
Okay. So
that's
actually,
not a
I wanna
bad.
vote.
That's not a
Actually,
bad name.
I will give you.
Simon.
I'll actually give you the very concrete example of what I'm talking about. I
Conversions?
think yeah. So it's called Sung and Ryan. No. No.
Sorry.
I got really, I perked up
No.
right now. Okay.
We're messing
SNR.
up.
No. What it is the other topic I want to touch on, and I think this is a lot for those individuals who put a lot of pressure on themselves. But I do think a lot of it comes from upbringing.
Yeah.
That
Totally.
we tend, and at least I think in our generation, I think it was very prevalent. You know,
Yeah.
is a lot of negative self-talk.
Yeah.
Damn, you suck. You're not good enough.
It's not self-talk. It was told to us.
Yeah,
For the
it's
most part.
generational
Generational,
trauma.
our parents.
It's generational issues
Right.
that get passed down. Yes.
And the theme of the next book that I was thinking about, to your point, is I want to address that because I do believe that in the short term, yes, it's helpful. It can be helpful, you know, because people do find motivation from that. That negative self-talk. I'm not good enough, so I'm going to try harder. You know, I'm guilty of it. I think we're all guilty of it at some point in time.
Of course,
in
we're
our
human.
lives.
It's
But I
natural.
think in the long term is not healthy or helpful. So that is
Yeah.
the next theme that I do want to touch on, whether it's sports, school, just whatever it is. So that's the next subject.
What I was thinking was like if it was sympathy, like a simp, like how guys are simp.
Oh.
Yeah, like a simp, and don't be like a
Oh.
thief. So teach guys not to be such simps, like simp.
Oh
Right?
my god!
think
If
that-
you're teaching for
That's
my
good.
daughter,
That's good.
my daughter's 9 months. I'm reading this to my 9-month-old.
I'll be simp.
I'm like, hey,
You'll be a
hey,
thief.
simp Ryan and Sung. Yeah, don't use this kitchen knife when you
Simp.
go to your Tesla car and someone's telling you it's getting
Simp
robbed.
and Ree.
Yeah, simp and Ree. No, but you know what? What I love about the concept and what I want to encourage you for is like elements or elemental with all of-
Elemental.
Elementals, yeah.
So the next one is about her becoming a teenager.
Mm.
So what's really cool, I don't know, I was very.
What's it called though?
It's elemental. It's the second
Sentimental
one.
or like no?
No,
no.
okay.
And it's
No,
called
it's called simp. Okay. But anyways,
Crazy hormonal bitch. Is that what it's called?
simp
It's
two,
it's
right
called
and son.
simp and
But what's cool is like it takes out certain emotions, and the next
Yeah.
ones are like anxiety and like all these things. And
You're right, and mental
wait,
health is a big thing
mental
too.
health. So what I love is to segue that and to inspire you is like, this is amazing, and thank you for this to create an avenue of like free thinkers, emotionally like comfortable people to think in a new perspective, right? Coming as a Navy SEAL. But second, it would be cool if you do a series, but look at the elementals where it's like they grow from here and then to here and to
Yeah.
here and to here, and they keep evolving. They're not
Absolutely.
simp as much anymore, and then they
Right.
grow into like mature adult, whatever.
I love that. Thank
To-
you.
Actually, it's
So-
a great
Yeah.
idea.
So
Because-
basically,
yeah.
we're telling you that we're taking over as producers, and we're gonna be a creative
You're,
content.
you're doing great. You're doing
No,
great.
This is great.
I
like
really
the idea.
appreciate
Thank you.
because you could have easily just kind of taken your experiences and kept it, but you share it and you want to do it to a larger crowd of people or children because you experienced that. And I think that's a big deal for me because I think all of us go through trauma, and then
Absolutely.
our trauma stems from our childhood, but there's a lot of beautiful stuff that comes from our childhood, and then to give back in the
Right.
positive aspect is very beautiful. So I'm really excited to read this to my daughter, but I do encourage you and I implore you to keep going because it's cool to have a series.
Right. I
Really
love
see
that.
that.
And, I love
However,
that. And
yeah.
I'm gonna take all the feedback on board because at the end of the day, I'm not a parent.
And it will happen soon. It'll happen when it happens. But what's cool is like you built all this up, and then when you do have your kid, you're like, daddy, yes. And not in-
Apanan. 대리는
Okay, good. I will
대리는
say it and you say it in
author야.
Korean. Yeah, I'm the best. I did this and then once you have your kids too, it's like you can keep going because creating is not as challenging as one would think. And working at Amazon.
I think separately, what surprised me most about the concept of this is that I never saw it about like why not just tell the because movies will do it like
Yeah,
you know like
totally.
if you talk about like Snatch, like all these
Yes.
like you see the movie from many different perspectives, and what surprised me for children's book was and maybe it came from my background of truth be told, like in the SEAL teams, you know, like having to play, I'm not saying I saw everything, but I think plenty of poverty and plenty of suffering.
Yeah, of
Where
course.
it kind of put perspective into my life. And maybe that's why this whole thing today with the car shit didn't bother me so much. It bothered me a little bit,
Of
but not too
course.
much,
I mean,
right?
after hearing your story, that cartoon was cake, bro. Like, my God. You know what, though? I could see Pixar or someone picking this up and making it a movie.
Hey,
Make
Pixar,
it happen,
where you at?
son.
Pixar, where you at?
Pixar.
Pixar,
Yeah.
is right here.
Son,
You said it right.
text
But-
Yeah, let me
email
text,
them immediately.
let me talk to Bezos and all
Yeah.
them and just get that going.
Bezos.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. He really meant that.
Sorry.
He said,
He did. That's
let me talk to
Sunglish.
Bezos.
Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah, but I think it surprised me that I've never seen a children's book yet that had that concept of why don't we just retell the story from both perspectives, and that's what part of the inspiration to me too, because I was like, wait, hey, we know how the world works, at least in the sense of being adults, is the world's not black and white, so
Yeah,
why do we
100%.
always categorize these bullies as bad people? It's sometimes
There's
they
a
got
reason
shit
why
going on
they
in their
go
life.
through
Yeah,
what
yeah,
they
yeah.
go through. Very beautiful.
Yeah, I honestly like the fact that you wrote this book and you just did it, and then we talked about it. You're like, why? I was like, why did you do it? You're like, I just wanted to. Yeah, it was on your bucket list,
Just want to do it.
and then you said, it all depends on the number of how many people actually buy it. Where are you at that number?
I haven't checked for like months.
You gotta check.
I
Where
love
do you
that,
buy
though.
it? Where do you buy this from?
No, Amazon books, right? So,
Amazon.com.
Before we wrap this all up, I just want to ask a question. You've done some remarkable things in your life, and you have experienced the most amazing stuff. Where are you at in your love life right now?
Ooh, good question. Okay, relationship wise, single.
Okay.
All right, one more. I don't know where else
Okay.
to go from there.
So when was your last relationship?
Oh, it's been about 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that because you wanted to take the time to figure out what's best for you, or what was kind of
I
the
think-
scenario?
Yes and no. Yes and yes. That's better
Okay.
answer.
Yes
Yes
and
and yes.
Okay.
Yes and yes. I think so. If for those that know me, I'm actually a very picky guy, right? So also, I think I know about myself is I have this thought that if I'm gonna commit to a relationship, it really means towards marriage.
Yeah.
So that's why you will rarely ever see me like in a relationship. In
Yeah.
fact, that was my first serious relationship. Sure.
in Korea.
Huh? No, that was more of a fling.
you have
Oh,
a
okay.
harder test than the SEALs, basically.
For your relationship.
relationship.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
mental is
okay.
a mental breakdown.
So,
Which
so
makes
the,
sense.
So the one 2.5 years ago was my actual first serious relationship. Because
Okay.
truth be told, I've dated a lot, right? But then that was actually a relationship. So I guess to that point, it's and maybe it's me where I'm just very picky when it comes to.
Okay, so let me ask you, what's your picture perfect unicorn?
Oh, good question. You know, I think clearly because I'm single right now, I guess it's to be determined. I don't know yet what that.
Okay,
that
so
looks
Well,
what's
you have an idea because you're so picky.
I-
What's your prerequisite?
Okay,
Sorry,
so-
I'm just repeating what you said.
Actually, that's actually better.
Yeah.
What are your red flags?
Yeah.
Oh, red flags.
Yes.
Okay, I think what I've learned has been this.
Everything.
Good job, Mark.
Really.
Yeah, right. I think some key red flags that stick out. Okay, one is this. Here's the number one.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
excited.
Drum roll, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Red flag in the back.
Yeah,
Go,
yeah,
go.
no, it's this. You go on a date, right? I actually see how they speak and treat the server.
yeah, I'm like that
Oh,
too.
yes.
If-
I'm very big on that.
Yes.
If they're even slightly rude, done.
Yeah.
Because to me that tells me, okay, it tells me a lot.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
of
because they look
Can
down
I
on
tell you
people.
something? I don't agree with that. Because I've
Really?
dated a lot of girls who worked in food service that were good to their other food service, but they were the worst people.
Okay,
So-
fine.
so,
you
I wouldn't-
you can play both sides. You can play
be
devil's
empathy,
advocate.
yeah.
Fine.
No, it's not empathy, but you could play devil's advocate where you're like, some people are assholes and so they deserve not to be tipped. It's because they hate what they do, right? Or whatever. But there's
Right.
certain people where they're doing their job and then they're not up to par with what
Right.
they're used to
Yeah.
being serviced. That's the judgment you're talking
Right.
about.
Well,
Correct.
for me,
He's
I
not-
think for me, I'm just saying more of so I don't use that as a metric because there's a lot of
Okay.
people that will be nice just to people outside, no matter what, and then they'll be mean.
I can
and
appreciate
So
that.
I'm more
'Cause
so
there's like
just
a-
being kind to people, strangers.
I
Like,
can
that's
I can
more of
appreciate
a-
that because that's like a cognizant. It's like you're just like being fake and you know you're getting paid, so you're being
Right.
nice. So to him, that's not a metric.
Yeah, well,
that makes
that's what I'm
sense
saying,
too.
and
Fair.
also
That is
Fair.
fair.
yeah,
That's
and
very
there's
fair.
a lot of people who are horrible, but they'll be like, "Oh, the
Yeah.
service is good,"
But
and
that's
then they'll,
because they're
yeah.
aware that they're being judged or
Yeah.
they're being calculated
Exactly.
on how
Right.
their response is.
And I think that's totally fair. I think the perspective I'm coming from is that because I come from perspective of this is our first date, so this is where I'm like, oh, okay.
And that makes sense
You
too.
gotta
We're
be the
going-
best.
yeah.
that makes sense
Or
too.
like we're going
Yeah.
out to get food, we're gonna go to a restaurant. So that's why I say that's why I look out for when we talk about red flags.
Yeah.
Because it's to your point. Yes, I agree.
It's a red flag.
It's a red flag. So that would be probably funny enough. That's probably the major red flag I look for. There are so many beautiful people in this world, right? And I'm talking about here, right?
Internally.
And all of us have hurt. All of us
Yeah.
have
Absolutely.
trauma. All of us have some sort of insecurity, hurt, trauma, all that stuff, right?
Totally.
I think what I've learned when it comes to relationships is that moving forward is I don't see myself dating somebody who has not addressed their trauma, who's addressed their pain.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Because what I've learned is that starts projecting onto
Yeah.
you, and you start becoming their emotional punching bag.
Yes. That's my huge red flag.
Right.
Yes.
So I've learned
We
that as a red
agreed.
flag too. I'm like, hey, are you cool? Do you have a great relationship with so and so?
I'm proud of you though
Yeah.
that you acknowledge that and you understand that because there's a lot of people who are so used to being abused that they allow that to happen because they have such self-doubt and such lower understanding of like their self-value because now you are 37.
Right.
So now you're at an age where, no muss, no fuss. You don't need the bullshit.
Right.
You don't need
Totally.
the headache. You like somebody who's like working on themselves internally, trying to make it
Absolutely.
better. No one's perfect.
Nobody.
And it's not about that, but at least you're trying.
Maybe some
Yeah.
is, but let me do this first. Let me tell you the types of girls I've typically been physically attracted to, right?
Okay.
Have been this. Typically, it's not the end all be all. It's girls who are on the taller side of the house. So, because I'm 6 feet.
Wow,
Yeah.
ladies, 6 foot.
Right,
I'm 6,
Yeah,
like
so-
actual, not like 6 feet and a quarter.
Yeah.
So that, so I've been typically attracted to girls who have been like 5'7" to about 5'9".
Makes
Right,
sense.
because I do like girls who are like taller, and I can't explain why.
No, it's because it's body. It's when you guys are having sex, your body
Good.
shifts perfectly into each other.
It-
I like
it-
tiny girls, but okay.
it could totally be.
Well,
yeah.
it's because you like to lick their feet, so it's like faster for you to get to their feet.
Thank you.
Anyways,
Yeah,
let's
thank
move
you.
on.
Yeah, and then so like, and so
yeah, you can high five me. You can high five me. Yeah,
with that
I
said-
know
I was
some.
looking at the tiny feet.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna high five.
I was looking
Sorry.
at the tiny legs.
Sorry,
no,
sorry.
you're good.
Sorry.
And with that said, looks wise as well, I think that what I've typically been attracted to is girls who are like more on the petite side rather than like
Little curvier, vivacious. Yes.
right. So
We like those words.
yeah, there. Thank you for helping
No
us.
problem.
That's
Thank
why
you
she's
for
No
here.
helping.
problem.
That's
Thank you
why
for
she's
helping.
here.
No problem.
But here's the thing. That's not the end all be all because I've been attracted to girls who don't fall in that realm. But most girls I've spoken with, gone on dates with, and typically fit that mold. And so that's why I say that from a physical perspective. What makes a girl more attractive?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Let's
Yeah.
go there.
What I can say is this. Truly, I think that for a lack of better terms, it's a tomboy. And I'll tell you why. Because it's a girl. No, it truly is a girl who's not afraid to express themselves
Yeah.
and to share their opinion and to
Because
be
you've been through so much.
Right,
You want
right.
it to be a connectivity
Right.
of like you're a soul, they're a soul, and there's no barriers, there's no boundaries.
And I think there's layers to this, right? Because when a girl And to use the word tomboy is a bit of an overgeneralization,
Yes.
but I just kind of use that
100%.
as a
No,
starting
it's
point.
very
Right.
descriptive. Yeah, I got
Yeah.
it.
So it's the girl I'm attracted to is because, wow, she is so expressive. She is not afraid to say what's on her mind. Within confines.
Come on, let me tell you something, man.
Yeah, you gotta be.
You don't want that, dude. You don't want that. Being in a marriage, you don't want that, okay? You want her to come out of her
His
shell and
wife
become
just
that.
made us pho.
Yes,
All
and it was
6 of us in
delicious.
his
And
house.
she's great, okay?
And he is-
she's great.
Yeah, where
But
we
can
going
I
with
say,
this one?
can I
Dig his
say
own
what I
grave.
would like once in a while? When I'm trying to be the man, I know the man situation. I would like it if she didn't have an opinion. I used to like that. I used to be, I love the spunkiness.
You know,
I want her to hold
all
it
that
on.
takes,
No.
all that takes is communication. On all you have to do is
See,
go.
this is a spunky one,
No,
okay?
all you have to do is tell her, babe, for me to really get off, if you could just take it down a notch and like be a little bit more into me, that'll make me feel better and that'll get me off more. And guess what? I'm a tomboy. I'm strong. I would do that for the person that I love because I want to get you off.
Yeah, sure.
So I think that you need to communicate better because you
You're
don't need
talking to
to.
the wrong person, okay? I'm trying to get off all the time. What do you mean? I'm trying to get her off all the time.
I know, but I'm just saying.
But it's like a landmine. Like I'm just like.
But it's not a landmine because all you have to do is just kind
Landmines.
of landmines. But all I have to say is like, as a strong woman, and like no one can tell me what to do. No one can tell me when to put it anywhere.
Exactly.
It's a choice of mine, and it always has to be my choice, right? The way that I will do those things is when I am like asked gently, and it's in a way where it's like they really need it, and it comes from like such a
Love and
like
respect.
loving and respect. And I know that sounds a lot. Like I know how
It's
your
a
guys'
lot,
views
dude.
are, but I'll tell you this. Guess what? You learn to do that, and you get what you want.
For sure.
So all I gotta say is like figure out translation wise, right? We learn languages, so it's a love language, and when you do that, guess what? I bet you the biggest tomboys are the biggest givers.
Sure. Okay.
We're
So
disgusting too
me and you,
because we're
Jess,
tomboys. So
Jess,
don't
we
put it
will.
past you.
We're gonna have our episodes, and we'll go into that.
Yeah, we are. You guys go watch this next
It's
episode.
beautiful
I'm gonna
because
love this.
we're coming from a different perspective.
Yeah.
But
We'll do
I'm gonna tell you the
relationship,
right
yeah.
perspective, okay?
Okay, go.
As a man.
Okay,
As a man.
please, the right
No,
perspective.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
It's all your personality, right? Like, for me, I'm very opinionated, alpha. I try to be whatever, but I know how to be a beta too, right? Take the back seat. And with my wife, her whole family's all alphas. Okay, you know this. I don't even need to say
I
this.
grew up with them.
Right.
I love
So
them all.
me
I love
being
them all.
yeah, me too. Love them all.
No, I really mean that.
I
They're
mean
all
that too.
cool.
What do you
They're
mean?
super
I'm
cool. I
married
love
to them. What do you mean?
Yeah, no, I'm
Damn.
not. Okay.
But the way you said it made me.
Sounds
okay.
like people are getting in trouble.
Okay, no, real talk though.
Yeah.
My thing is, and she's coming from perspective because she's a tomboy and she's an alpha girl, and there's perspective, right? But for the most part, get you a quiet one, man. The shy one.
I don't
Church
know.
girl.
I'll be honest. His personality,
Yeah.
no, he wants
Anya.
spunky.
No, but knowing
You
what,
pick spunky.
No, but you know what? Though talking to you though, it's also the way you communicate. The way that you keep like,
I don't like
you know, when
spunky.
we say like average girl, like what would I want more? The way you communicate how we do, absolutely. I think that's where the disconnect could be.
What it
The
is that
communication.
you want spunky at the right times. You'll get spunky always. Always.
He's just talking about spunk. That's
No,
all.
I'm just telling you.
I'm just telling you, you know my wife, and I love her. And this is why I'm learning how to.
Right.
I love her. We're married. We're together, and she's not like telling you what to do and what not to do.
But I think he knows how to
At
deliver
those
it to
moments,
his
no.
others,
What I'm
though.
just saying, in your expertise at that moment,
He's projecting again.
I am projecting.
Like, so hard,
First of all,
Hey,
I'm
son, calm down. You're loud, son.
First
Son,
of all-
calm down. Son,
Son,
calm down.
Your mic, you
First- no,
already
I'm
ate
only-
your mic twice.
First
You
of
gotta
all,
realize.
I've
Joe
already
is
said.
our guest.
I already said. I'm not I don't need to project. I've been honest about it.
No,
Joe, we want you
we're
back on our
messing.
next episode.
Yeah, we're gonna have a whole
Joe, don't do
conversation.
it, dude. Don't do
Wait.
it. Get it.
I think what he's trying to say, and I will piggyback off this, is like he wants. It's the same thing. You guys want somebody that is like spontaneous and loving and gives it their all. But you also want someone that's a little bit docile, a little bit more balanced, a little bit more intuitive on knowing your guys' needs.
But then
that
spunky is on the opposite side of that spectrum too.
but
Really,
it
you have to
can't-
get someone in the
Dude,
middle.
Projection, don't fall on. But it's like
Project, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know. We're gonna have like a whole nother.
Dude, what do you mean? This whole podcast I've been talking about it, dude.
No. But our next
guest on our
podcast,
podcast
are
will
not.
No, we don't need that.
That would be
Every
that would
time
be so
Vero's
good.
been on the podcast, a couple times we.
No, I'm
we
here
fought.
now.
Yeah.
No, I'm here now. I
Yeah, you
anyways,
gotta back her up.
Guys,
Your
no, I'm
spunky
not.
sticks with
I'm
spunky.
not. I see your side. What I'm trying to say is, I get what you're saying, but what I'm trying to say is that there's a way of involving communication that allows a person to form an empathy for you, that they bring down their walls,
Yeah.
and then they give you what you need.
Yeah.
They love you for your
Right.
vulnerability.
Yeah.
The reason why
You won't get that with spunky
so
girls.
I'm a
Sorry.
tomboy. I'm a spunky girl. I'm like all of the above. But
you're half
I have
right.
no. It's not. I have to be triggered to want to do those things.
Yeah.
And when a person's an arrogant person that thinks they're justified and they can treat me that way and all of that, I'm not gonna do it. But when a person shows me like they need this, it's impertinent for them to have this. Like they like
Right.
these things are essential to their growth, their being who they are. I'm going to cave in and I'm going to give that because I
Right.
love them. I care
Right.
about them. So what I am saying is
She's
like,
right, I'm wrong. So.
I'm not saying you're wrong. What I'm saying is there's just a way of communicating
Right.
that. And what I'm saying is like, it's like love languages, right? It's like learning this one is more, this one is less,
Right.
this one's more, this one is less, right? Right? And so maybe your full throttle aggressiveness can be taken down 3 notches and a girl could be like, oh, Oppa, I hear you. I should
First of all, you don't
give
know-
you this blowjob right now because you are so beautiful and I
We
love
would
you.
have a-
But that's what you're saying right now. You're like, I wish I could have more of those moments where it could just be like, I'm
just
using
kidding.
that as an
I'm just kidding,
objective
no.
perspective. It's all I'm
You're
saying.
right.
But
You're
right,
right.
Yeah.
Not to cut you, but I understand where you're coming from because honestly, that's something that I'm working on, communicate. Because sometimes I feel like
Yeah.
we don't know how to communicate.
Okay,
So
first of all,
we
get
come on-
married and then you're
I understand.
good. You're there.
I'm just saying
Get
though,
married.
in
Sorry,
a
I don't
marriage
need to-
though, it goes 2 ways. So if
Yeah.
you want to keep fighting for one side, you're always gonna lose, because you have to learn to fight for. You have to learn to balance the other side. Is all I'm saying.
Well, I saw this clip that
Okay.
someone sent me a reel, and just to cut the short, just wrap it up. Pretty much, I saw this reel someone sent me. They said when you date someone, when you do all that, that's when it doesn't really start. Everything really starts the minute you get married.
yeah,
That's
I
deep.
agree.
True.
That is
agree.
true.
High
And I'm gonna
five.
send you that reel. No,
Me and
you
Vero
know,
didn't start
yeah.
fighting until we got
Yeah,
married.
but you know,
Like,
send me
Oh,
that.
we stopped
we never-
fighting.
we never fought.
stopped
Yeah.
fighting once we got married.
Yeah, the girl that I'm
It's
talking
crazy.
to right now
One or
sent
the
me
way
that.
there.
No, it's because
You know
like
what?
I knew finally he saw me, he committed to me, he really loves me. All of my insecurities and the things that I faulted myself for, that I wasn't good enough, my imposter syndrome, all these things.
Yeah.
This person committed to me, and then once he committed to me, I was like, I'm not worried he's gonna cheat. I'm not worried he's not gonna think
Right.
I'm not of value, because he put a ring on my finger. He loves me. He committed to me. That shifted everything for me. I am not jealous. I mean, of course, I'm always gonna be a little bit jealous, but I'm not like FBI,
Yeah.
like
No, you're not.
crazy.
No, you're not.
Yeah, but I'm not that person, and
Right.
now I'm like more lackadaisical towards the relationship. And then now with the baby, he could be out and he could be blacked out somewhere, which is terrible, but the thing is like, I know where we stand because I know how we're raising our child,
Right.
right? So that's the bond, and that's what I mean by the communication.
No, yeah,
that's all.
for sure.
That's all I mean. I'm only projecting from my perspective, which is giving in. Like, okay, I'll give you guys a perspective of why I say what I say.
But that's also because you're willing to give up your alpha status.
because
Because
that's, but also you guys don't discount alpha females.
No, I'm not.
If you no, what I mean is like, girls can also be communicated to make them break down, to be vulnerable, as males who are alphas are also vulnerable. It's communication is all I'm saying.
Absolutely.
That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying. I just want to wrap this up, guys. I'm excited that you are single. Thank you so much for being a Navy SEAL who has served for our country, who has given us all of your heart and soul, who has given us books that our children can read, and like gives back to the community in every aspect.
And also,
that makes me feel
and
so-
also
thank you,
the
thank
fact
you
that
for the
since
kind
you're
words.
single, what are you doing tomorrow night?
Huh? Tomorrow? You tell me.
All right, you come. We're doing a special event at Intercrew,
Tell me
Kill
more.
Girls Night. We got a bunch of single ladies from all sorts of sizes, physicality, how
I'm
they
a
look.
single ladies.
All the
my
single
single
ladies.
ladies.
So like, if you have a chance, come through Intercrew, man. I'll floss y'all some girls. man.
Okay. Hey.
But we won't throw your Navy SEAL.
Yeah,
card.
we won't throw that
Don't
Navy
worry.
SEAL badge, but
Not
we'll
until the
definitely
end.
go up to them, and I'll be crazy if you met a girl named
And don't
Empa
forget the
and
spunky
Thee.
ones.
I love this.
Yeah.
This
I
is
love
our
this
next,
right here.
This
Our
is-
next podcast is called The Spunk.
The
Oh,
spawn.
the spunk.
No, look. Honestly,
Yeah, no, I
sorry.
appreciate it.
Thank
I got
I
it.
showed a little bit of this might have been a therapy for me, but I'm just
Good.
Yeah.
I'm
Good.
only saying because
Of course.
what my whole point is this: you think you know what you want, but it's not what you're supposed to have.
Exactly.
It's not what's good for you. For
Agreed.
me, with me and my wife, like I thought I wanted that, but here's the thing: the reason why we work is because on a different level, we connect on a different level. For me, I'm more of a sensitive guy, like on that side.
Yes.
I understand
Yes,
that.
we understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
No,
got it.
but-
I think we
but-
all understand
and
that.
she's a little bit more of a shut up, Milo. She's a little bit of a more like like
Yeah.
a tomboy.
No, it's more. She just is more desensitized in the feelings that you
Exactly.
feel. That's all.
So all I'm more so is that it's just you want to find you don't. My whole point was don't think that you think that you want that. That's not
Right.
what you don't be married to that because that's maybe why it's not working because that's what you're looking for
Fair,
and
fair,
that's
fair.
not what you need. You know what I
Fair.
mean?
I agree.
Yeah.
I
I had a point, guys.
I know.
I
I'm
wasn't just bashing on my
10
wife.
hours later, we get the point.
I wasn't just bashing on my wife. It
Well,
was
other
10
than that,
minutes,
Go.
okay?
Right.
Vaughn the real man. Wrap it up, Ryan. Wrap it up.
No,
for
no,
us, man.
no. But thank you for
Hey,
coming out.
empathy, okay?
Dude, guys, if
Sympathy
you,
will be next, and we'll see me at Intercrew tomorrow.
Intercrew tomorrow.
Let's do it.
yes, if you guys want to catch this book, Empa and Thee, you can find it on Amazon Books.
Thank you.
Empa
Empa
and
and
Thee.
Thee.
Yeah, Empa and Thee. You
Elephant
can find it.
and tiger.
Yes.
There you go.
You can find it on Amazon Books. And anywhere else?
Barnes and Noble. There's a few, but Amazon's the main.
Okay, Amazon's the main one. Barnes and Nobles. Just Google it. You might be able to
Bezos.
find it.
You'll find it. You'll find. Yeah, Bezos.
Bezos got it, yo.
whatever
There
If
you
you guys
go.
want to follow Joe on his Instagram, it's Hey, it's Joe Choi.
Oh.
Spelled just like how it sounds.
Just like how it sounds.
Surprise.
Hey.
Guys, don't forget we have our booze summer kickoff block party,
Yes.
July
Yes.
6th,
Are you going to be there?
Woo.
Dude, yo, of course.
Let's do it.
12 to 5 on July 6th,
Yes.
2024. It's going to be at Booze Philly Cheesesteaks in Koreatown off of Wilshire and
Great
Alexandria.
cheesesteaks. Great cheesesteaks.
Great
And
cheesesteaks.
also, we're also going to be celebrating somebody's birthday as well that day.
Yes.
Oh, my birthday.
So if you guys also want to stop by,
Yes.
Oh.
Single ladies for sure.
oh,
Yes.
oh.
It's her
Wait,
birthday
Oppa
that day.
Gangnam Style.
29, right?
Is that what you're- No,
29?
the 6th of July.
July 6th.
No, I'm
yeah.
talking about, like,
Yeah, you're right.
age.
Oh, I'm 39. Oh, 29. Oh, yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, I wish.
29, yeah.
I saw what you did there, Joe. I don't think no one else saw it, but I saw.
I was like, July 29th. No. Oh, I'm gonna,
It's like
I'm
you
gonna
gotta
be.
all-
All right, guys, thank you for catching up to our show. Subscribe to us on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify.
Which one is that?
Huh?
Which one? What's
Conversation.
on?
Conversations. That's a
Underscore
conversion. Underscore
pod.
pod. Anyways, catch you guys later. Is this song?
Jessica.
Am I landing this plane or are you landing the plane?
I definitely
What
did the
did you
fly.
tell
Yeah.
Is it landed? Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. You can find us on Conversations_pod at YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you guys next time.